team is there waiting for you and they will help you and your families. As independent advisors, what happens if you cannot do your career? You can't go write business. You can't drive a car because you're disabled. That means you don't have an income. You're getting renewals, but you're not earning new income from your occupation as an independent entrepreneur. And you can't find other work to earn money. So when you have total disability, well, we have disability products, whether it's a simplified issue, answer a few questions, maximum is, I don't know, 1,000, 2,000, whatever it may be, and it's in force. Or for business owners that you know that need a much larger sum because of their income and what they do, it can go up to $10,000 as a monthly payment. And it's distinguished by occupation, waiting period, and so forth. Illness, critical illness, Cancer Guard, one question. If you want to add more illnesses to it, answer a few more. Issued, no problem. Critical illness, we have 4 critical illnesses, 25, full underwriting, something for everybody. This is the diversification you need for your families. We don't have 1, 2, or 3 products only. We have everything to diversify their portfolio. Insurance, term, whole life, participating whole life, universal life, guaranteed, oh, I spelled that wrong, and simplified issue. Guaranteed and simplified. Simplified up to $500,000, right then and there. Guaranteed, age 6 months, $10,000 guaranteed. If you're over the age of 17, I think it's 25 or 50 guaranteed issue and so forth. Simplified goes up to 500. Term, mortgage insurance, all the concepts that you can think of that you do with families and that you help the families with. Everything is a one-stop shop. A family can go into ia.ca, into the client space, see their children's RESP, see their own investments, see their living benefits to make sure if anything happens to them, and whether it's mortgage coverage, protection for their retirement, their future, it's all here. You have we only service WFG, so it's a dedicated team in Ontario. For life insurance only, so for this part only, Maria, myself, and Nia. Please remember, if we are away, text does not have an out-of-office reply. Example, Maria was away on her own personal trip to Italy, and Nia was away at a family emergency out of the country. If you kept texting them and they're not responding, it's because they don't have their phones out of the country. Either if you phone, our out of office will be there and will give you someone to contact, or our email will give you a response saying who to contact because we're not available. If you phone, please leave a voicemail or text right after saying, I need help on this policy. So if you're texting and you don't hear from us, maybe we're not here. We're traveling more with WFG. We're on airports, airplanes. We can't respond. With email, you'll get a response. WhatsApp, there's a response, and it will show you all the contact people that you can reach out to. For living benefits, critical illness and disability, it would be Jack and Avnish. So that would be this portion. And the next one for all the investments would be James and Michael. So we do all of Ontario except Ottawa. Stephen does life and living benefits for Ottawa, Maritimes, and Quebec. And Alfredo does Ottawa, the Maritimes, and Quebec. So full team dedicated to WFG. We don't service any other industry. You have your own dedicated customer service line. You have your own dedicated emails. If it's a comp question, you need to contact WFG host anything to do with Assure and Go. If you received an email from us, I have on my email, in my signature, a hyperlink right here. Share it with your friends. Share it with your uplines. This is to register for all of these webinars. You can register for them all. If you don't show up, it's not a problem. But it will send you a reminder the day before. So please, or if we had to cancel one during an emergency, we would let you know because it will send you a notification. All you have to do, if you have an email from me, just select e-learning, scroll to the bottom and pick all the presentations you want to do, whether it's in the day or evening. It's all here. I'm putting this up because we're going through a lot of audits, I'd say. And I want to remind you as an agent, when you're receiving CE credits from us and the regulations from FSRA, the CE credits are only applicable for technical. That means legal, regulatory, fundamentals, principle of insurance, financial planning, taxation, needs analysis, proper use of products, underwriting claims, and so forth. These are what we can give CE credits. What we cannot give CE credits are if we do a presentation just on motivation, customer psychology, sales, health, stress, exercise, recruiting, office skills, telephone techniques, computer training, management training. These are not CE credit verified. And when you get your CE credits, please remember when you have to renew your license, you must upload 30. And it can't all be life insurance. You have to diversify. It has to be living benefits, accidental death insurance, life insurance, annuities, investments. You need to have multiple topics. With IA in these morning sessions, we have 3 life webinars during the day, Monday, Thursday, and Friday. Tuesday is living benefits. Wednesdays is investments. If you came and watched the webinar for 45 minutes or more, and you went on the investments, you get one. If you went on living benefits, you get one. And there's only 1 CE credit per week, regardless if you went to 2. We'd hope that you understand the value of the education and always learning. They are Ontario CE credits. On the report that we get, it will show 45 minutes or more or less. It must be 45 minutes. Just to update, if you're new, you can obtain your access to IA and doing business with IA here. Assure and Go, the guaranteed issue, disability, simplified issue, right here. So IA.ca on the Advisor Center, you click IA.ca. You can even just do IA.ca and scroll down. Assure and Go. Evo, download the software. All right here on the very front page for you. As I scroll down, there's a few things that I would ask you to do. People ask about our fund performance. All right here, IA.ca on the front page. There's fund performance for universal life, and there's fund performance for investments or segregated fund division. You select which one you want to see. Forms. Sometimes an underwriter requires a form. Just put the form number, Q5A here. It's a PDF. Get it filled out. You're good. You can also search here product guides, marketing material, anything that you need to use or develop yourself. Even presentations, they're all in here. You could put the word critical illness, universal life. It's all in here. It's like a Google search button, but not as good as Google personally. That's what I say. The last thing is IA Connected. Please come down here and select it. When you do, it opens up And if you scroll down, there's a stay informed. You cannot keep up with all the changes in our industry, never mind just our company alone. We are always giving you tools. Like, for example, there are podcasts. Maybe you're interested in learning more about how the economy works and the importance of investments in certain segregated funds to select and how it works, how to help your clients during a time when funds go down, and how to really approach and deal with clients. We have lots of things. You'll get it if you put your email in here. You'll get all these emails. If we're changing something on the software, introducing a new product, enhancing a new product, reducing rates, you'll get an email. If we're discontinuing a product, you'll get an email. Look, if you don't want to read the email because, it's on investments, on liras, I don't do anything with that, just delete it. But you need to keep informed. And the only way you're going to understand and know what's going on is iConnected, scroll down, and just put your email, stay informed. The only thing we changed recently last year was students less than 3 years. The maximum life insurance now is $250. Or they can go through Assure and Go and get up to $200,000 or $500,000, depending how many questions they can answer. They don't get critical illness, but they can get Cancer Guard through Assure and Go. Anything else, as long as you have a work permit, whatever makes financial sense. If there's no status, you have no status, 100,000 max. If you're a visitor means long-term, and they have to answer the travel questionnaire, so they may or may not be able to get it. Again, Assure and Go, Access Life, simplified issue. All solutions, all here. Okay. With IA, life insurance, ages 0 to 50, actually, this should say 2 million or less. There are no medicals. I don't know why it says that. No medicals required. But we do go through predictive analytics. It could be auto-accepted. So 53% of our applications are auto-accepted. So $2 million or less, age 50 and less for life insurance. When you're doing the electronic application, it goes through predictive analytics, and through disclosure, I'm 4'1", I weigh 800 pounds. Well, I know there's no medicals, but that disclosure, we need to look into this. I went to the hospital and I had 3 toes amputated 5 years ago. Well, we need to look into this. I take these medications, I'm depressed, we need to look into it. There's also one more thing called the Medical Investigation Bureau. It is a nonprofit organization that only receives information of disclosure from clients. And the reason is it gives a fair playing field for your clients and the insurance company. Meaning, let's say 5-6 years ago, I applied with an agent in the other industry, and I got declined because I said I had a heart attack. And I was angry because they didn't really explain what would happen during this process. So then I meet someone else 2 years ago or a year ago, and I'm not going to disclose this information. As you go through predictive analytics and transfer the MIB, it will raise a flag. We don't know what it is. Like, we don't know what the condition is. It does not give personal information, but it is saying, hold on, you need to contact this company because on that application they did there was different answers. And that's what the MIB does. So in those cases, we must go through full underwriting. If it's auto approved, you are fully compensated within 48 hours and delivery within 48 hours. Changes in force policies. You want to change the funds in your universal life. You want to change beneficiary, add a rider, delete a rider, whatever you want to do. Go to eChange. Simple to do. You can submit the request. You sign on the actual phone or click on it, get a text, and it goes on to Business Tracker. It takes time to do because some have to go back into underwriting. It doesn't get auto approved. Changes are different because these are legal changes to legal documents. You can do reinstatements. Again, just because you're inputting it quickly doesn't mean it gets auto approved. Changes are different. Change in coverage, date of birth, beneficiary, contingent owner, additional deposits, death benefit option, surrender, whatever you want to do. The only thing you cannot do on this e-change is a conversion. That still needs the PDF form. And I would always encourage to do an e-change because if you're going to use the forms or you're just going to send in a illustration or email, there's a lot of questions and you're going to go back and forth. And if it gets issued incorrectly, it's because what they're understanding what you're saying may be different to what they are saying. So please use e-changes. Okay. Putting the puzzles together. How do we go through underwriting? How do we deliver? And how do we understand where to get answers? When you go to the Advisor Center, that means something is an underwriting, so it didn't get auto approved. If you need to talk to an underwriter, the only email you need is wfgnewbusiness@ia.ca. For other people who decide to CC all the other divisions, I'm going to explain to you that it will delay your email because legally, each division needs to communicate. Remember, they're not working from an office. People are working from home. Each division needs to communicate to each other division to see where this email belongs because it is a legal obligation. So if you're going to send it to a lot of CCs, it's going to delay the process. So if your application went into underwriting because we need to get medicals or require things, this is the only email. And please send it to this email, not to a sales director directly. What if I had to go out of the country for a family emergency and you're saying, oh, we need to change the premium or underwriting of something. It's urgent. It's not going to happen. Email WFG New Business and you can CC a sales director if something, we can keep an eye on it and so forth, but always directly to WFG New Business, only for policies and underwriting where there's no decision. During the application process, I just want to go through this. They're going to ask, how do you want to pay? If I say by check, a little pop-up will come here. IA must receive that check within 5 business days, and it must come through Perlate or something trackable. And remember, nobody's at the office, so it has to get sorted out and sent to someone. If we do not receive that check, it becomes a huge problem here. So please don't select this. Pre-authorized check. When you select this, a little box comes up here saying, look, if you select this, we will take one payment only, no more, just one, until it's issued and in force. And that premium is to put together and put the temporary insurance agreement, TIA, in force. So that means if something should happen during the underwriting process, if a client passes away or whatever, the temporary insurance agreement is bound now. And we will take it out 2 to 3 business days. Your client must be prepared. They can't ask for the date. They can't say, take it out on the 15th, the 1st. This comes out 2 to 3 business days. COD. No money is taken. The policy will be issued annually. Deliver the policy. If you want to change it to monthly, just get the pack forms done. And then the premium will start monthly, or at that time, they can do an e-bank transfer for the annual payment. Payable 15 days after it's issued. Two things here. If it goes in force right away, we will wait 15 days until we withdraw that premium. So if you do that and today it got in force, we're taking the premium out in August. If it gets issued and it cannot settle without a document signed, once we receive that document, 15 days from there. So please, I would always recommend PAC, one premium taken within 2 to 3 business days. And remember, if you do this on the weekend, Saturday, Sunday, maybe Monday's a holiday, those are not business days. So probably come out Wednesday. Or COD, cash on delivery. Submitting through Evo, if it's not auto-approved, under the Advisor Center will go to My Clients. And you need to select My Contracts in Underwriting. I'm going to go, and this is what it would look like. AP means it was automatically approved. So within the next 24 hours, say you did this on a Sunday, it got auto approved Sunday. It will show up in our system Monday, which is a business day, and Monday night it will produce the contract and go in force. Sometimes there's an amendment. So it takes overnight to always update and purge those things. But what if something goes into underwriting? You would just select the hyperlink here on the contract number. You can ask IA to order medicals. We'll place the orders within 3 hours of receiving that application if it requires medicals. Some applications will already tell you there are medicals, then it will say, do you want us to order it or will you order it? If you ask us to order it, we'll order it, but you are to follow up with Dynacare on ensuring the nurse connects. We're just placing the order for you. But you need to call Dynacare and make sure that the client and Dynacare nurse hook up. Dynacare is also responsible for getting doctor's reports for us. We call them APS, attending physician statements. I know it's frustrating, but Dynacare is a third party. We are not affiliated, or nor do we control Dynacare. It's another company. So when we make a request as an insurance company, we're asking for the doctor to send us information because we need to see the history 3 years ago, 6 years ago, last year on the disclosure of medical information. And we can't just say, bypass it. We need to see it. And Dynacare will always follow up with the doctor. Some doctors don't even have voicemail. It's difficult since COVID to get these reports, and it's even more difficult if it's in a hospital. So please follow up, have your client maybe call the doctor if it's taking too long. You cannot call the doctor, but just note it's Dynacare. I know sometimes you say it's been 3 months. It's not IA. It's the doctor. Sometimes we'll get it back, but we're very specific what we want from the doctor, and they'll send it back without that information. Then we got to go back. So the patient is needed with you and the client, and you need to give the client those expectations. Many people ask, what does faculty reinsurance mean? It really means the insurance company is buying insurance on the risk. So if we would not issue it because of certain things, whether it's a complicated health, they have so many health issues and complications, whether it's lifestyle, they do jump from a helicopter to go skiing, scuba diving, illegal drug use, drinking and driving, or maybe even the amount, 10 million, 5 million. We need to assess the risk and go to reinsurance. And that's what this means. and will go to all the reinsurers. There's nothing for you to do, but it takes 6 to 7 days to get back all the companies and their offers. Now, all of them can say different offers, 50% for one, maximum 1 million, no critical illness, just life, decline, decline, decline. And we will pick the best offer, hopefully. All of them may say decline. I mean, you do have Access Life that you can use after that, but that's what faculty reinsurance is. We need to get insurance for our insurance based on the risk. When you do go into underwriting, if I submitted this today and I see it on my advisor center and I see a deposit, I know my 40% were issued today. It must be before 9 p.m. Eastern time. So today is what? I don't even know the date. July 27, whatever. That's, if I see a deposit, my 40% was already issued to me. But I need to make sure that everything is received. So if I see a reply, I must reply from here. You can send another email to WFG New Business, but if you don't hit reply, it's always going to sit there thinking this is still required. So always reply from here if there is a reply button. Date received. Again, if you don't reply to the offer, it thinks not everything is here, so the underwriter's not going to look at it. You need to reply here to the offer. And if you're changing the insurance amounts or whatever, you can send the new illustration to WFG New Business. The medicals, July 6th, they started contacting your client. You can see this there. They did the services, but July 20th, the results were transmitted. If you do blood work, let's say you do blood work, your client needs blood today, and the appointment's today, and you're trying to do this for month end. It takes 6 months, 6 to 8 business days for the results to be transmitted. See, July 14th to the July 20th. It doesn't include weekends. Those are non-business days. So if someone did their blood profile today, tomorrow, it's not going to get approved or looked at by the underwriter until we get those results. And if the results are not good, you may have to ask for a doctor's report. So just keep in mind, everything has to show as received. This one, there's nothing here that's been received, information for the agent. So you can click on it and reply to it, and then it will show received, and it will update our underwriting system in order for the underwriter to know that you did say something. And see here where it says deposit 00, no points have been forwarded because no deposits were taken. I have a question. To undergone medical and was approved, and after a year or two, he became. So someone's saying, look, I put this application in today. They did all their medicals, blood profile, urine, whatever. And I issued the application as a non-smoker, and they declared themselves as a non-smoker. It got approved and it's in force. If I decide to smoke 2 days after and decide to pick up smoking, it doesn't matter. What matters is the truthfulness at time of application, at time of delivery, that nothing has changed. Once it's in force, I can even go, scuba diving. If I'd never done it before and all of a sudden an opportunity came up, no problem. Or all of a sudden I decided to smoke or do marijuana a week later because someone introduced it to me. It doesn't matter. We base our information during the underwriting process on the questions and medicals that are received. So that's what you do afterwards. If you move to another company, it doesn't matter as long as it's being paid in Canadian dollars. Delivery. This is the email. So anything in underwriting, there's no approval or anything, WFG new business at ia.ca. Once it goes on to Business Tracker to deliver and maybe put in force, because I have documents required, WFG transactions at ia.ca. Again, please do not CC everyone. It's not going to help you. It just slows down your email. Business Tracker is right here. Not only does it show you delivery, claims, transactions, documents that we sent to your client, your investments, it shows you a lot of things, but you need to sign up and do your notification preferences. When you're asking for your notification preferences, it can be an email or text or both. And what I always suggest is select action required, because this means, oh my goodness, if you don't do this, it's going to lapse. Maybe there was an NSF. Action suggested. The client hasn't paid in, or the client called in, wants to surrender. Can you conserve the business? These two are very important. So you can select action required and action suggested. You can select email or text or both. And an email will look like this. Is action required? It's just, it shows the client's name, a generic reference number. All I say is it doesn't matter. Just go to Business Tracker, because this means something is happening and you need to follow up. When a policy is in force and to be delivered, I guarantee you half of your questions that you ask, you will find right here. And it will save you stress from trying to go on, the WFG hotline at month end, because everybody's calling in. Mostly a lot newer agents, because they're still learning. But if I can show you where the answers are, it will, again, give you less stress, and you can go along your day knowing it's there. When you put the policy number in and this comes up, underwriting, not underwriting, you select this one, not this one. This when you see 2, it means underwriting is finished. A decision is made. This one will fall off at the month end. Okay, so this will fall off automatically at the month end. When you see 2, select the one on top. And when you do, it looks like this. If it says in force, you have all your compensation, everything has been forwarded, all your points, the 60% now, on a date of July 26th. Because it's in force. It's done. The client is protected. Nothing else needs to be done, but you do need to deliver it. But you don't need to deliver it to get the rest of your points, the 100% or the 60%. So when you select the top one and it shows in force, you are 100% paid. So today, IA, or on the 26th, yesterday, we will show, today's the 26th, I don't even know anymore. Yeah, it's the 27th. Yesterday, when this went in force, IA put their report to WFG to reflect July 26th, the rest of the 60% or 100% of compensation, and that WFG will distribute the points and compensation based on this date. So if you're not sure, that's all you need to see. In force and this date. The issue date is in July, in force date, everything is for July. So the points and comp are for July. No questions. And since it's in force, you still need to deliver it, but you don't have to deliver it to put it in force. If it's in force, you do need to deliver it. You need to answer the questions, has anything changed, and make sure the client gets their copies of the contract and so forth. But you need to answer. And I'm going to talk about this later on too. Let's say you went back to another policy and you see two of them here. Don't touch the underwriting one. We've issued it. So I'm going to select this one now. It says approved, but not in force. This means on Business Tracker, there are documents required to put it in force. In this case, we start premiums, for this, we already got premiums for this month, maybe the next month we'll start withdrawing. Everything starts. This one will not start any withdrawals until we get these documents. So it says approved but not in force. This mostly means there's an amendment. An amendment means during the underwriting process, we changed something. The amount of insurance, new beneficiary, we took off one insured, whatever it was. But there was a legal change. So the client needs to sign for it. So this is not in force. No points, no 60% has been released. I go to Business Tracker. The amendment's right here. I take this. I can either print it, get it wet signature, scan it, and please reply here. Again, we can deliver it afterwards, but to settle this policy and put it in force, we need this amendment. You can do the delivery at the same time though, but we need this to put it in force. We cannot put it in force when it says this and there's no document submitted. When you go to Business Tracker, you just have to select contract delivery, request follow-up. Again, we need a new illustration, an amendment, delivery. And what I want to show you is the most important, really, is the contract transaction. Oops. The delivery reply. So the delivery reply here says, look, are you accepting it? There's no health change. So that smoking question, what if it's not in force yet and they smoke? So yeah, there is a health change. Then you have to go back into underwriting, but they're not smoking. They accept it. No changes in health or financial. Yes, they accept with change. There is changes to health. Or no, the applicant doesn't want to accept this contract. Either one. If at this time you also send in additional documents to change, it will not settle. It goes back into underwriting. So either it gets settled, they don't want it, or you send it back to underwriting because you want to change the policy. Always upload the amendment or documents required here. If you send it to WFG Transactions, if you do it here, it's faster. It gets matched faster. When you're doing electronic signatures, some of you forget the evidence summary page. Please don't forget that. And electronic signatures, if they're not done correctly, in Business Tracker required, we're telling you the blue banner's missing. If I ever have to hear the blue banner again, it's all I heard for 3 years. The blue banner's not there. It means this is a blue banner. It shows that all signatures were signed. The document that was submitted has not been altered by you or the client in any way. And this document is true to what the client and yourself have signed. But if there's no blue banner, not all of them have blue banners, but if there's no blue banner and it requires a blue banner, it cannot be accepted. Confirmation, that's what I said. Do you confirm? And here's where I would say, all of a sudden they want to answer a question and change it. It goes back into underwriting. This is important. Illustration and confirmation of transaction. Let's say the policy was issued and you didn't look at this. It shows you right here. A premium is due. We need $200, but we're not going to withdraw it until we get that signed amendment, because that signed amendment is a legal document to put this policy in force. So we issued it July 18th, and you wait till August 1st or August 18th, and you send in the amendment. Well, July 18th is due and August 18th is due. So we'll take out 2 premiums at once. Or if I send it in 6 days later, we withdraw the money right away. This is so important. I hear many times people calling, IA took too much money out. You guys made a mistake. My client is so upset. They're so angry. Give them their money back. Again, I cannot tell you. Please, please look at this. The policy went into effect July. The 16th is the next deposit or withdraw. Sometimes, what if this was June? And now we would owe July and August. There's no requirements, but on the 16th of August, we're going to take June. No, we won't take June because you put down June for the TIA. We'll take July and August right away at once. So that's 300 we'll take right away on the 16th. So if it was issued June, it would say June up here, but now we need July and August. And this is done sometimes to conserve age, or if you don't ask to current date the policy, technically the client owes from the day the policy goes in. Please, please make sure you see what is coming out when and how many. If you submit the illustration and it's different than what was applied for, we cannot settle because we don't know what's happening. It says right here, minimum premium has to be $106.24. And on the illustration we got, it was not. When you do the illustration, this person did a new illustration. It was $102.94. Well, and the withdraw was $220. Here it's $200. So when I submit this illustration, it doesn't match the contract. And the contract here shows the minimum premium was $106.24, not $102.94. We cannot settle it because we're asking, do you want to change this? It goes back into underwriting. If you need to correct it, so this is the contract we issued, and this was the minimum. When you submit a new illustration, the minimum must be the same as what was issued on this contract. If you change it, it's a problem. You can't settle it. We're not talking about the monthly withdrawals. That doesn't matter. This number has to match this number on the contract to ensure that everything here you illustrated according to how it was issued. And if those two don't match, well, it won't settle. And that's the importance of looking into the illustration to make sure it's done the correct way as illustrated. When it shows all provided, and then once you see here completed, again, when we receive everything, it takes overnight to purge a system and to update electronically. The next day it shows completed. It's done. If this was a change of premium, you can go look on the Advisor Center. So here's some more tips. And oh my God, I'm doing a lot of typos today. Where you can find information, you don't need to ask. It's all here. Here, it needs to say enforce, but all of these buttons give you so much information. If you're changing the investment options, so this is what the client has right now, but you're going to do an e-change to change the investment options, all the codes are right here. Write them down, which ones you want. The investment options show all the codes to all the investments for segregated funds. Composition of funds shows what the client is invested in today. So if you're going to do an e-change on UL investment funds, the codes are here. Premium. This is the day of the month where we'll always take the money out. And this is what they agree to per month. It shows you the monthly minimum and the monthly cost, shows you all the bank information under premium. History of premiums. This is good. They're paying all their premiums, but one day you're calling me saying you got a charge back. What happened? The policy's in force. Why are you charging me back? Check premiums first. PAC premium reversal means NSF. IA went to the bank and said, we require $400. The client let us $400, but the bank says, we're not giving it to you. Nope, not enough money in here, or the money's being held, wrong bank account. If we don't get the money, that causes a chargeback. Please check this very first thing. History under premiums. It will show you if an NSF occurred. This shows you no NSF. They're paying, they're all good and up to date. But if you see premium reversal, it's because the bank did not release the coverage to us. Many of you give a solution with YRT insurance on Universal Life. YRT has 9 years of surrender charges. So under surrender value, if you look at it today, the fund bounces cash value, but this is the surrender charge. This means if my client were to cancel or lower the face amount, there's an internal charge and we take it from here. If they wanted to cancel today, they're getting nothing and they have to pay a $25 fee. So there's 9 years of surrender charge. There's cash value there, but there's 9 years of surrender charges. If you change the death benefit amount or they cancel, the charges are applied to the client, not literally, but they are deducted. So they're not getting anything back. They're not getting the $341 back. Many of you call up saying, oh my God, my client's having such horrible experience and with their money and so forth. So extended insurance, 18 months. What does that mean? It's approximately your client has the opportunity to not pay for 10 or 18 months. It depends on the rate of return and the cash value. It's approximate. So if they wanted to go and miss one payment or two, they can. I wouldn't tell them 18 months because it's going to lapse. As long as you see something here under extended insurance, you're good. The amount of months it shows you is an approximation. If it says 18 today, it could say, what if the markets tank? Maybe a week from today, it could say 10. All your information is there. And when your client goes to view their policy, they're going on my client's space. Their documents are different, meaning the contract your client gets is different. It does show the, what they had purchased for a solution, all the premiums. It does show the contract and all the definitions. But what's different on a client's contract is any declaration questions or paramedical questions they answered are in their copy only. There's no lab results, there's no doctor reports, only answered medical questions, declarations, whether it's done by you when you're going through the application or a nurse. Only the client's copy will have that information. Your contract copy does not have the information because legally, for privacy reasons, you cannot keep medical information on file. And that's why your copy has just the application, which you can download and save. It just has what they purchased, all the coverages and the policy, all the, what each definition is for the policy, what this means, what that means. But your policy as an advisor does not show any medical questions that are answered. Only can the client see that. Also, they also can see here confirmation of transactions. When is the next premium coming out? All here. Is there going to be 2 or 3? 1? Do we have to wait for the amendment? It's going to be here. So there should be no surprises when 2 or 3 come out or 1 comes out. Sometimes if you do an auto approval at the end of the month and the client decides to have the first day of every month the premium come out. Well, not only are you paying July, you're going to pay the next day August, so that's 2 premiums at once. I always suggest to have the issue date, the withdrawal date, the effective date of the contract. You can change it anytime later on, no worries, but make sure that it doesn't become 2 times withdrawals. You can do e-apps till the end of the month before 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Only the 40% will qualify because overnight it has to the 31st. Oh, it's Monday. So anything done on the weekend, if it's auto approved, Monday night, it will go either in force or have an amendment. And that's when all the 60% will be released. But Monday morning, the 40% is released. And then Monday night, if it goes in force, there's no amendment, the 60% is released for July. 9 p.m. fully transmitted Eastern Standard Time. I hope this helps. I hope this helps you understand where to find things, how to navigate more and help your clients, and not always having to depend to call like when it gets busy, the 1-844 number, because all the questions you have are there. And if there's a problem with something, then yes, reach out to the sales directors. We're here to help you with that. But if it's just, questions like that, it's all on the Advisor Center for you to see. And the client can see the same things that I just showed you. So everything is there. We just have to make sure we look at it. And specifically, the premiums due. I hope that helps. Stephen will be doing this presentation again tomorrow. So if you have other teammates that you think can benefit from this, I would definitely invite them on. Otherwise, keep cool, hydrate, and I hope this helps you and have a super awesome day today.